At ease. It's your boy Solar. Guys, you ever get you a game plan together, right? You know, trying to achieve success, and you put everything in place, and next thing you know, man, you're on that path, man. You're on the path to success. And before you know it, man, it seems like your world just starts to break apart and everything is going right back down to ground zero, right? You regroup and you do it again. Next thing you know, you're back on the right track. Before too much longer, your world is going right back down to ground zero. Do you ever ask yourself why this is taking place? You know, the same thing happens, when people get gym memberships. On the first day of the year, everybody's finna get in shape, right? January 2nd is looking like Club Bella Noche.
Well, damn, if you can't go to Bella Noche, what the hell could you go?
But around week 1 or week 2, that membership, the crowd at the gym is getting real thin, right? The majority of people are back at home watching Golden Girls, watching Martin, watching reruns of Sanford and Son, eating ho-hos and ice cream. You know what I'm saying? Do you ever ask yourself, why is this taking place? It all comes down to the method that you're using to establish your reality, right? Either you're creating your world or you're simply simulating it.
Is it not written in your law that ye are gods? You understand what I'm saying? So it just depends on what level you on based on whether you're human or whether you're immortal.
So what do I mean by saying, you're either creating your world or you're simulating your world, right? Well, first let me say this. First let me say that the good news is that both people, whatever side of the fence you're on, both people are acting as if. And that's one of the crucial elements in creating your world, right? But here's the bad news. You can't act as if on something you haven't created. You know what I'm saying? In other words, this is what most people are doing. For example, when they want to be successful, instead of going through the creative process, they're simply simulating success. In other words, what they're doing is, they're getting on the book, they're getting on the gram, they're getting on the tube, and they're saying, okay, this is what successful people drive. This is where successful people live. These are the type of women that successful brothers get booed up with. And so they fall back and just start accumulating these trinkets. And I've talked about this, but brothers need to understand why their life is falling back off, right? See, what you have to understand is the difference between simulating and creating is when you're creating your world, right? You're getting the full download. You're getting the full program associated with living a certain life, right? In other words, when you have your thoughts and you have your frequency and you give it to your higher self, on the other side in the 5th dimension, when you run it through your God box, which is inside of you, right? That's what gives you the downloads back to the 3rd dimension that tells you how to move. It tells you the work ethic it's going to take to be in this vibration. It tells you, the circle of friends you got to have. It tells you every single thing you need to know to operate and to have this reality, right? You ever try to navigate on Instagram or Facebook without having the full program? You can get on your phone and go through the World Wide Web and get on Facebook and dance around for a second, but in a minute it's gonna shut you down. In other words, for y'all to be on there creeping on your ex-boyfriend's page and your ex-girlfriend's page, you can go on there without having an account. And you might can look at 1 or 2 pictures, but in a very quick amount of time, it's going to say, hey, you know what? You got to log in. You got to create an account if you want to operate like this. Same thing with Instagram. So what I'm saying is, when you simulate success, really what you're doing, you're lacking the full program. So really what you're doing is living your life as a screenshot. You know what I'm saying? You need that program to sustain that reality. But the thing is this. It's not all about just success. We're talking about laws here, right? So it's going to be across the board. Even when it comes to your relationship, even when it comes to your masculinity. You know what I'm saying? I remember in 2009, and I've talked about this before, I remember when I got divorced, man, 2009. Brother, I came out the blocks, man, thinking I was big pimping. You couldn't tell me I wasn't a coldest brother, right? But I had no idea I was so lame, right? I had no idea I couldn't get women. Now this is what I had to do. I had one of two choices to make, right? I could look at all the brothers and say, you know what? Well, all the guys that are getting women, like this is how they're moving. Like these are the places they're hanging out. This is how they're walking. This is how they're talking, right? These are the beverages they're drinking. I could simulate that, and that's what I did. And for a minute, man, I'm stepping out and I'm doing what I'm seeing other brothers do. And you know what? It never took off for me. It never took off for me. So what I had to do was go through door number 2. I had to find self. I had to create a new me. You know what I'm saying? And once I did that, you have to understand this, guys. When it comes to masculinity, see, a lot of us think that masculinity is moving a certain way. Think that masculinity is talking a certain way, pumping a chest or doing certain things. Masculinity is simply an energy. You know what I'm saying? Now these things, you know, getting tats and getting muscles and moving a certain way, these are attributes of masculine men, but you can't confuse that with masculinity itself. So once I found self, nothing about me changed. I was the same old soul, right? But all of a sudden my DM and my inbox started running over, and I made a video about that, right? So it's all about, for me, it was all about finding self. In other words, it was all about me creating that new me instead of just simulating what I just saw. You know what I'm saying? I remember, man, it's been a couple years ago now, man. I was watching the AMS video, right? And I can't remember if the young brother had called in or if the brother had sent him an email through Patreon. Long story short, this is what the brother was asking AMS, right? He says, you know, brother, you like I've been using your strategies, and man, my life is just taking off, man. Women are responding to me like this and like that. He said, but the thing is, he said, after about a week or two, man, these women are just ghosting me. He said, I don't know what's going on. He said, help me out, brother. And this is what AMS said, right? He said, let me talk to all y'all brothers about something right quick. He said, y'all have to understand that what I'm giving you are alpha male strategies. He said, if you take this stuff to the field, you're definitely going to get results. He said, but at some time, you brothers are going to have to go within and become a certain type of man, because it's going to take just a few days, a few weeks for a woman to see through that. And I said, brother, you know, and that's the exact same thing I'm saying right now. See, you can simulate life all you want, but it's just a matter of time before the world itself identifies you for what you are, man, and that world starts to crumble. But if you create that life, then you're getting all the downloads. You're getting the way you should move, man. So again, you have to create your reality as opposed to simulating it. And you know, when it comes to fitness and getting in shape, and all, it's no different, man. You know, you can go ask all the fitness gurus. You know, you can go ask my brother Bricks Fitness. You know, you can go ask, you know, Mr. Infinity. You can go ask Jalen Ellison. You can go ask brother SPK. It all has to change internally before that external changes. Because if not, you're just gonna find yourself, you know, going through and doing what everybody else is doing, and next thing you know, you're falling back out, you're on the couch, and you're doing nothing, right? You know, most trainers, you know, when they get their new clients, they're saying, you know, what are your goals, right? And then the client is saying, well, this is what I want to get to 100 pounds. I want to get to this. I want this much muscle. So then the trainer says, well, this is what you should do. You know, you need to exercise, you know, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You need to eat these kind of meals. You need to go walk. You need to do this thing. But in all actuality, for a trainer to avoid wasting his or her time and wasting the time of their client, the first question they need to ask is this: who are you? See, it all comes down to who you are. Now, and I'm not talking about who you're acting as if. I'm talking about it comes down to who you've become. You know what I'm saying? In other words, it really comes down to what program you're running off of, or if you're simply a screenshot of what you've seen in this world. See, at the end of the day, you have to remember this, guys. See, you can look at another man's life, another man's reality as inspiration to bring within and create your own version of it, right? But you can never win by acting as if on another man's creation.